Hello, this is the Toddlers service from St Mary's Church, Jersey in the Channel Islands, and it's the service for Thursday the 2nd December 2021. And we have a service in the church for the children, but this service is coming from our kitchen. And there's going to be a story and songs to sing, and I hope you'll join in. So we start to sing along to a song called If I Go Climbing. There's actions in this one. First actions are climbing.
Let's go climbing up a huge mountain.
If I go climbing, climbing, climbing. If I go climbing, God is there. If I go climbing on the highest mountain, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Now, let's get into our boats and go for a row.
You row a boat.
If I go rowing, 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 if I go rowing, God is there. If I go rowing on the widest river, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Let's go swimming right to the bottom of the ocean.
If I go swimming, 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 if I go swimming, God is there. If I go swimming to the bottom of the ocean, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Can you get into your car? Put on your
Drive the car.
seatbelt, ready to go for a
Seatbelt
drive.
on.
If I go driving, 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 if I go driving, God is there. If I go driving far away, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Now we're going flying on an aeroplane.
Fly an aeroplane.
If I go flying, 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 if I go flying, God is there. If I go flying on the biggest airplane, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Can you curl up on the floor
Go to sleep.
and go to
I
sleep?
thought.
If I go sleeping, 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 if I go sleeping, God is there. If I go sleeping on the darkest night, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Now I'm going to sing the rhyme about two little eyes. Two little eyes to look to God, two little ears to hear His word, two little feet to walk in His ways, two little lips to sing His praise, two little hands to do His will, and one little heart to love Him still. Now there's another song to sing along to, Jesus is my best friend. We start the actions like this. Jesus is my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Jesus is my best friend, He's always there for me. Jesus is my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Jesus is my to get up because it's the dinosaur song. And there's got to be lots of stomping and roaring like dinosaurs. Stomp, stomp, roar, 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 stomp, 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 roar, roar, roar. So many, many years ago, walking on the earth, were supermassive animals with teeth and claws and fur. They could swim and fly and crawl, but way more radical is that God who made them is alive and greater than them all. God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. God is older than a dinosaur, more mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, 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 roar. So was Tyrannosaurus Rex, king above the rest. And how did Stegosaurus bark on the blooded laid eggs? Only God could know it all, but way more radical is that he could bring them back to life. Now wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it? God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. God is older than a dinosaur, more mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. God's a fossil, he's not extinct, he's with us here and now. And forever he'll be alive, let's roar his praises now. Roar, roar, roar. God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. God is older than a dinosaur, more mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar, stomp, stomp, roar, 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 roar. The dinosaurs go off into the distance. And I'm going to sing the song about Mr. Noah. Mr. Noah who built the ark because God told him to build a big, big boat and take 2 of all the different animals into the boat, along with his family, so they'd be safe when the rain came. Mr. Noah built an ark, the people thought it such a lark. Mr. Noah pleaded so, but into the ark they would not go. Down came the rain in torrents, splish, splash. Down came the rain in torrents, splish, splash. Down came the rain in torrents, and all the 8 were saved. The animals went in 2 by 2, the big giraffe and the kangaroo. All were safely stowed away until that great and terrible day, when down came the rain in torrents, splish, splash. Down came the rain in torrents, splish, splash. Down came the rain in torrents, and all the 8 were saved. So whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a rainbow, remember God is love. And I'm going to get up again because we're going to sing the wiggle song. I'm going to get rid of all our energy. We're going to wiggle, and then when the music tells us, we freeze, and then we wiggle, wiggle, wiggle again. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze.
I said I gotta get the wiggles out of me. I'm gonna shake my hands, I'm gonna shake my feet, I'm gonna shake my head, I'm gonna move to the beat. 'Cause I gotta get those wiggles out of me. I said I gotta get the wiggles out of me. Wiggle, 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 freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze. I said I gotta get the wiggles out of me. Skilly doo. I gotta get those wiggles out of me. 'Cause I wanna hear the story. It's gonna be fun to hear about Jesus is for everyone. So I gotta get the wiggles out of me. Wiggle, 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 freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze. I said I gotta get the wiggles out of me. I said I gotta get the wiggles out of me. I said I gotta get the wiggles out of me. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Take it down and breathe.
Now I've got 2 prayer books to read from. And today's story, we talk about a harvest. So this is a prayer about harvest. Grey clouds, send your rain to the green and growing grain. White cloud, blow away from the golden harvest day. We say, Amen. Also in today's story, we hear about a baby right at the end of the story. So here's a prayer about a baby. Thank you, God, for the little baby. The little baby has a cute smiley face, but not much hair at all. The little baby has 2 bright eyes, 2 ears, 1 mouth and a nose. The little baby has a fat round tummy, a fine pair of legs and 10 little toes. The little baby has 2 chubby hands, 8 fingers and 2 small thumbs. The little babies are planned by you, God, and given to people to care for. Thank you, God, for the little babies that you send to us. We say, Amen. Now I'm going to tell you the story, so at the beginning we say a little rhyme. And today's story actually comes twice in 2 bits of the Bible. Now is the time to listen. Now is the time to see. We'll open God's book to hear what He has to tell me. Now today's story, the story itself is written in the Old Testament in the book of Ruth. And today's story is all about Ruth. But there's other people in the story as well. So long, long, long ago, long before Jesus was born, in the town of Bethlehem, was a lady, and she was married, and There was a bad, bad harvest and everybody was hungry. So the lady and her husband went to another country called Moab and they settled there. There was more food in Moab. And then the lady had 2 sons. She was very happy. And the sons grew up and they got married. And one of them married a lady from the land of Moab called Ruth. And the other son married another lady from the land of Moab. But then something very sad happened. The first lady, whose name was Naomi, her husband died. And then the husbands of both her daughter-in-laws, they died too. So the lady from the town of Bethlehem, called Naomi, was left all on her own with just her 2 daughter-in-laws who came from the land of Moab. And the lady called Naomi heard that things were a lot better in Bethlehem. So she said to her 2 daughter-in-laws, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to the city where I came from, to the little city of Bethlehem. And the daughter-in-law said, we'll come with you. And they set off to walk back to Bethlehem, but there's only one daughter-in-law with her. The daughter-in-law called Ruth stayed with her. The other daughter-in-law went back to her family. Although she loved Ruth, Naomi, very much, she decided to go back to her family. But Ruth said to her mother-in-law, don't ask me to leave you. I want to stay with you. Your people will be my people. Your land will be my land, and I will worship the God that you worship, the God in Israel. So that's just what happened. Off they went back to the land of Bethlehem. And when they got there, everybody was surprised to see Naomi. Oh, Naomi, you've come back. You've come back from the land of Moab. You've come back to the city of Bethlehem. And she said, yes, but I'm very sad because my husband died, and so did my 2 sons. But look, I have a daughter-in-law with me called Ruth, and she's come with me because she loves me a lot and wants to be with me in this town, in this city. So when they got there, Naomi said to Ruth, you must go out into the fields because it's harvest time. You must go out into the fields and you must pick up the bits of grain that are dropped. You must go gleaning in the fields because it's harvest time. And that's just what Ruth did. She went out into the fields. So here's Ruth. With her basket, and she's gone out into the fields of barley. And look, she's going to be picking up these little bits of grain that had got left behind when the workers had cut the barley down. And here's the barley she's left up to dry. Well, the owner of the fields came along and he said to the workers, who is that girl who's collecting up the bits of grain, who's gleaning in the fields? I don't recognise her. And his workers said to him, that is Ruth. She's come back from all the way from the land of Moab with her mother-in-law Naomi because she loves her very much. And she's picking up the grains of barley from the ground. Boaz said to his workers, make sure there's plenty of grains left for her. I've heard about Ruth, she's very kind. And make sure that she's kept safe. Don't let anybody do her any harm. And then Boaz said to Ruth, you can do plenty of picking up of grain in my field, and when it comes to lunchtime, I'll make sure you have something to eat, and I'll make sure that you can have a nice cool drink of cool water, along with the other ladies who are picking up the grain. So Ruth was very pleased. He was so kind. And she was able to pick up lots of grain and put in her basket. And then at the end of the day, she went back to see her mother-in-law Naomi. And Naomi said to her, "Oh, you've got a lot of grain, Ruth. You've picked up a lot of grain. Whose field did you go into?" And Ruth said, "It was a man called Boaz. He was very, very kind to me. He said I can come back every day." And Naomi said to Ruth, "He is a relative of ours. He will be kind to us, I'm sure." So that's what happened. Every day, Ruth went out with her basket to pick up the grain from the fields of the man called Boaz. And then do you know what happened? Boaz liked Ruth so much that he decided he would marry her. So Boaz and Ruth got married. And Naomi was very, very pleased. And then Boaz and Ruth had a baby boy called Obed. Oh, and Naomi was so happy she told everybody in the town, "I'm now very, very happy because there's a new baby in the family called Obed. I'm very, very happy. I came back to this town and I was sad, but now I am happy." So that's the story about Ruth. But there's something special about this story, because when we get to the New Testament with all the stories about Jesus and Jesus' birth, we read right at the beginning of St. Matthew's Gospel that Boaz and Ruth were the lots of great-grandparents of baby Jesus. And that's a good story, isn't it, for this week, because we're coming up to hear all the stories about the baby Jesus. So Ruth and Boaz were ancestors, great-grandmas and grandpas of baby Jesus. And that's for this week's story. Next week, we'll be hearing more about baby Jesus and about how he came into the world. So I'm going to sing the song about "My God is so big." My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing that he cannot do. Clap, clap. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing that he cannot do. Clap, clap. Rivers are his, the mountains are his, the stars are his handiwork too. Clap, clap. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing that he cannot do. Clap, clap. And now we're going to get up again. You can dance around the room. If you've got something to rattle or bang, you can get that, because we're going to sing "What Noise Shall We Make?"
What noise shall we make to say that God is great? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a loud noise to say that God is great. Let's make a loud noise unto the Lord. Here is my loud voice. Here is my loud voice. Here is my loud voice unto the Lord. What noise shall we make to say that God is great? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a quiet noise to say
And that's the end of this week's service. From St Mary's Church, Jersey, in the Channel Islands. There'll be another story next week. We'll be talking about the coming of baby Jesus. I hope you'll join us next week. Bye-bye.